legend has it, one day you might actually be able to come to this stop and hop on an Eglinton Crosstown LRT. And hey there, today is Thursday, March 27th. Holy shit, it's almost April. The time right now is 3:23 p.m. and the temperature is about 9 degrees Celsius. And this is the O'Connor stop of the Crosstown LRT. I just wandered into here. I don't think I was supposed to do that. This is a little peek as to what the above ground stops will look like. Half of this line is buried, but most of the eastern stretch is above ground like this. And we are in Scarborough, in an area that is known as the Mink Mile, and it stretches for quite a ways along Victoria Park here, or rather Eglinton Avenue East from Victoria Park, which is a major north-south street just off to the west there. And it runs till Birchmount, which is over to the east of here. And for this one, I'll be going for a walk through the Golden Mile. I'll just pretend that these weren't here. And there is the bell tower. That's 150 meters. It's a telecommunications tower built primarily for long-wave radio communication. It's probably serving as a cell phone tower these days. There's Eglinton Square Shopping Center. I just recorded a video through there. You should be able to find that on the channel by now. As we start making our way east. And that shopping mall has an interesting history. It was one of the first in the city. It started life as an open-air shopping center in the 50s. And it was visited by Queen Elizabeth. And then in the 60s, it became an enclosed shopping mall. It's got a Hudson's Bay store, which is liquidating as they're closing all but 6 of their locations. And that's a strip plaza over there with a no frills. I think that might have used to be a Real Canadian Superstore. And everywhere there's a stop for the LRT, they have roughed in the bike lanes, although I wouldn't really call a painted line bike lanes. But much of the Golden Mile looks like this. It's dominated by shopping centers. There's a big movie theater over in that direction. I think there used to be a Famous Players over here on the left at some point. But I think with the opening of the Crosstown, we'll start to see a lot of intensification and redevelopment of the area. I've done a few videos through here before. But this area was previously an industrial hub. And that was during World War II. There were a lot of munitions factories and other factories supporting the war effort. There's a Burger King. This is Pharmacy Avenue, another major north-south street. And Scarborough we're about to cross, and there's plans to put 13 to 30-story buildings in this lot. A Eglinton bus that will be going all the way to Kennedy Station. I think we'll see a lot of sites that are up for redevelopment on this walk. Here's one just on the southeast corner of Pharmacy and Eglinton. I took a 34A Eglinton bus here. Anatomy Homes is behind this development. There's a lot of strip malls and big box retailers along this stretch. We've already made it the distance of one crosstown LRT stop. What's incredibly stupid, though, is the crosstown will not have signal priority, so these LRT trams are going to get caught up at red lights and stuck behind turning vehicles. It really doesn't make sense to invest this much in transit, something that should have been a subway to begin with. Only to have things slow down to a crawl when they get to surface level. That's certainly not how they do it in most other places. All hail the mighty automobile, I guess. Just be grateful you have an alternative. There's a Smart Centers across the street with a Walmart and a Winners. This is not by any means what you would call an urban or pedestrian-friendly environment, but I think there's plans to change that with some of these new developments. The bike lanes and semi-rapid transit will certainly go ways to help that. The population in this area is about 55,000 people. And prior to World War II, this was mostly farmland, settled by Scottish immigrants. It's a car dealership. I just don't think an area can ever really urbanize with that kind of development across the street. Giant parking lot pedestrians have to wade through. Big box retailer at the back. Over here, we have retail, but it only false fronts the street. All the entrances are on the other side. This is a very ass-backwards suburban style of development. And here's the Canadian Tire. I think this area has the largest concentration of big box retailers in the city. I walked through Leaside a few days ago, which kind of gives it a run for the money, but this is full-blown suburban power center style, which is ironic since most of the residents here do not drive, if I'm not mistaken. And look at this monstrosity. Way, way, way back there. Oh, I thought I was on Zoom. There's a movie theater. Imagine taking the bus to see the movies or the tram, and then you've got to hike all that way just to get there. Definitely an area for and by the car. The stop is Hakimi Lebovich. And there's a Hakim Optical right there. I think they're related. There's a Marks, a Laura, Bath and Body Works, Le'Veon Rose. And there you got more big box retail over here. An Old Navy, Bulk Barn. It's a Healthy Planet. Wendy's and Timmy's. We've made it to Lebovich Avenue. Occasionally you will catch them testing the LRTs. Honk, honk, honk. Shoe company back there, a Rona, a Marshalls. There's a Five Guys in there. One of the reasons a lot of the munitions factories were built here is because it was deemed to be just far enough from the city center if there were any explosions or anything. It would have been sufficiently out of the way. There are also appliance factories here. There was a large ball bearing manufacturer. This is very much an industrial corridor. I struggle to say a basic word. More stores lurking back there on the left. Prior videos I recorded here, I kept going all the way to Kennedy Station. Both videos landed right around the 50-minute mark. Dolphin Gaming, the Dolphin Bar now open. There's an ambulance responding to a call in the parking lot there. That's Eglinton Corners over there. There's a Brick, a Best Buy, a Casada, Adonis Supermarket. Golden Mile Jewelry Exchange. There's a flea market. Canada's largest jewelry mall. Merchants Flea Market. Hey, that NYC clothing place has been there for quite a while. And there's a correction center coming up in a few blocks on the right, which is the south side. is Warden Avenue coming up. Major North-South Street in Scarborough. You could go south here and find your way down to Warden Station. But a lot of the major roads in Scarborough look kind of like this. They're wide, they're very strody, not pedestrian friendly. They'll have some plazas and developments along them. They don't exactly make for good urban walks on a channel like this. They're fun to check out every now and then. Hey, Pho Saigon, Vietnamese noodle soup. I can smell hoisin sauce. Oh, that smells good. Look at the roof on that building. It's very old school design. This area was inspired by London's Golden Mile. Which became a symbol of post-war prosperity. I don't know if you could say the same about this one. There's a gated off office complex, Cosmetica. Brunch restaurant. It will be super interesting to see how this area develops and changes the next few decades once the crosstown here becomes old hat. With land being worth what it is and the housing demands only going up, it's very possible a lot of lots like this end up getting redeveloped. Couple of sneezes. Sorry about that. We'll see if I remember to edit those out. Probably not. This big LA Fitness across the street. McDonald's. There's Kelsey's. That's a very suburban style family restaurant. Hyundai. There sure are a lot of car dealerships along here. I think this is it. As far as all the big box retailers go, I think this last stretch here might be all she wrote for that. There's a Staples over there. And a PetSmart. Let's see if this guy on his phone notices me. Trying to play it cool. I'm not looking at my phone while driving. is a Costco business center. Whatever that is, I think one that serves retailers. I remember my parents used to run a business and we'd always go to a big warehouse to pick up stuff in bulk. That was kind of like a Costco, but you had to have a card to shop there. I forget the name of it. There's an Enterprise. And there is the detention center. There's a lot of people locked up in there. It's the Toronto East Detention Center. And that's allegedly where the Canadian reggae artist Snow was inspired to write the song Informer, which became a giant hit back in 1993. Not sure what this parking lot is for here. There's an Enterprise truck rental and an Enterprise car rental right here. There's a big detention center in Etobicoke. I think it's fairly modern. This one is quite old. You actually see bars in the windows. We went for a long drive. ISHQ, traditionally veg. Still don't know what the hell that means. There's Turkish cuisine. Hey, someone on their bike. If you build it, they will come. Gotta love signs like this that state the overwhelmingly obvious. Some of these people are probably making their way out of the penitentiary. Maybe employees or people going for a visit, lawyers and that sort of thing. There's the Scotiabank Eglinton campus. And this is Birchmount, which signals the end of the Golden Mile. There's a trio of Canadian flags. One thing you're not really going to see anymore are American flags anywhere. Often when there's three, there'll be a City of Toronto flag on one side, an Ontario flag on the other, and the Canadian in the middle. We just went for the triple Canuck action. There's a Mandarin over there. As we get to Birchmount Road. Oh, that's sad to see. December 28th, 2024. Hopefully they found their owners. All right, should I do it? Should I keep going to Kennedy? I think when I get there, I would fire up a live stream. I wanted to do this yesterday, but some TTC problems had me delayed too often or too much. So I decided to postpone my plans till today, which means I'm sacrificing recording around the Skydome during the Blue Jays home opener. First year I haven't done that in a while. Thank you to that driver for not running me over. There's an oddly shaped building. I wonder what's going in there. A lot of people waiting for the bus going north at Birchmount. So we'll just go to Kennedy maybe, as I hit my toe on something. I think that's a police station, 41 Division. If you know what that is, let me know down in the comments. There's Birchmount. I think the next stop is Ion View before we get to Kennedy. And there's a plaza coming up. It's always, or at least every time I walk by, it has been boarded up. And it looks like it's seen better days. I wonder what the status of that is. Guess we gotta go find out. Some apartment buildings. I think this area is known as Ion View. These apartments are Ion View Court. There's 25 stops on this crosstown LRT in total. We've walked by a number of them on this one. I've walked past all of them at some point in prior videos. I remember when I recorded through here in 2021, I was quite skeptical that this would open the following year, as was planned. And here we are in 2025, and there's still no firm opening date. There definitely should be heads rolling and probably people in jail. There's definitely been some massive public grifting going on with this particular project. But the province doesn't seem to want to hold anyone to be accountable for it. probably because they're very much in on it. That plaza I mentioned is coming up. All that garbage. That's so disappointing that people are even capable of that. View. I think that's the second last stop. They are already expanding the line westward from Mount Dennis.
Driving by.
There's the plaza over there. This next major street will be Kennedy. I think I'm going to go southbound Kennedy in my live stream. Maybe I'll make my way down towards Warden Station. If I'm really feeling ambitious, Victoria Park. If you know the story behind this plaza here on the right, let me know. This is what, 5 years it's been like this now at least? Looks very much to be the same style as the one across the street. That one has a library branch in it. What is going on here? I guess I walk a little faster than I did back then. That dental clinic van has seen better days. Kennedy Station just up ahead where you could once take the Scarborough RT, but that was shut down prematurely due to a lack of maintenance. They had a proper replacement plan in place. police station is just up ahead. This feels like a good place to end this one, right here at Kennedy and Eglinton Avenue East. Someone selling fruit inside of their car. All right. I hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to hearing or reading your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. 3 videos down, 1 live stream to go today. All right, thank you for watching, guys. Yoink.